you going, Cobb? This is Delika, mate.
Delika? What? No, it's L300, mate.
Bloody looks like a Delika, mate.
It's an L300, you muppet!
G'day guys, welcome to another episode of Modified. We're here with Ryan. How are you, Ryan?
Yeah, good. And yourself?
Yeah, good mate.
That's good, that's the way.
I believe this is an L300, not going to call it something else.
Yeah, definitely an L300 before those other things came around. So yeah, grandpa to them.
What year is it?
It's 1984, this one. So she's
1984.
Yeah, so
retro.
what is it, 37 years old now. So yeah.
L300 van, 1984. What's the setup for?
Touring mainly, of course. I'm a photographer full time, so I'll be travelling Australia basically full time out of it. That's the initial plans when I bought it. Might be a little bit different now, but yeah, it's basically built for touring. So
How long you had it?
4 years it's been. So
Oh, 4 years.
yeah, 4 years.
You're home on wheels.
That's it. Yeah, home on wheels now for sure. Yeah.
Ryan lives inside this thing, so this thing is decked out. So stay tuned guys and we'll get to it. This episode of Modified is sponsored by the Terrain Tamer e-store. So if you're building a four-wheel drive right now, you should probably check them out because they'll probably have what you need. They're the biggest stockholders of four-wheel drive replacement parts. Check them out, the Terrain Tamer e-store. Let's get back to the episode. There's a bar in the front, there's a bar in the back. Is this an L300 bar or is it custom?
So you can't definitely buy anything for these old girls now at all. So this is a fully custom bar made up in the shed at home. So I designed it up on CAD really roughly myself, gave rough measurements to Dad and then let him do all the work. So he's a panel beater by trade, so definitely makes it a lot easier to get this stuff done at home.
That's pretty handy. So when you say CAD, are you talking about cardboard assist drawing or actual proper CAD?
Nah, more like SketchUp, but
oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Made it look pretty on there and gave him a design so he could actually see something in
Looks pretty
3D,
good, man.
So yeah, no, it's pretty good. Bit lighter than a traditional like ARB bar. It's hit a few bits here and there. You can see a little bit of a ding there, but yeah, it's held up all right. So
The winch, what size is that?
it's a 12,000 pounds, so it's a bit overkill. That is a Ridge Rider, I think it's called, the good old super cheap ones.
12,000 pounds. Strong enough to stretch your van.
Exactly right.
When you put the bar on the front, did you find that the front was sort of sitting like that?
When we bought it, in general, it was sitting a bit so it didn't really make much of a difference. But also, when I first bought it, these had the front wheel on the front. The spare wheel on the front, so there's less weight probably here than it was before anyway. So as of the front bar, this is also fully custom made. Back in the back shed at home, we started off with, of course, just the bracing along the bottom and then built up from there to fit the two jerrys and of course the spare wheel as well. So yeah, it's on a big swing away arm as well. So yeah.
But the whole lot?
Yeah, so the whole bit swings away to your side. That way it lifts up for the tailgate to come up as well. So
of course, yeah.
Not running that much fuel and she's pretty thirsty, so yeah, make sure have the two extras on the back, so 40 litres of spare. Which
how much is in the tank?
70 litres in the tank.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's not too bad, but being petrol and thirsty, she's
110 litres. What does that give you in range?
Normally they're just there for spares in case, but 70 litres normally around the 450 kilometres out of that, so roughly around the 15 litres per 100, sitting at 90 kilometres. So
sure, that's not bad.
Not too bad, yeah.
Spare tyre, which is the proper size.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a grill plate underneath.
Yeah, so the front runner barbecue plate, just maximise space and be able to cook over the fire. So
Rubbish bag or storage?
rubbish bag.
You got a plug over here, is that your solar?
Yeah, so that's for my solar blanket. Built that into the bar just because it's a bit nicer. Then that way I can have the solar blanket out and everything closed up as well. So,
Any other surprises on this bar?
not really. Besides just the quick latch, which is just an ARB latch that we took off an old ARB bar that we found, just to make it all click in, and yeah, so.
Roof rack. Should we talk low ratings here or what?
Oh, yeah, let's keep them quiet, I think.
I don't know if I should have done that.
The roof rack itself, it's a new one, so going with the front runner. Size-wise, I think it's
pretty long, eh?
Yeah, it's about 2.7, 2.8 roughly.
Wow.
So definitely full length, and then width-wise, I think it's 14 something. So it does hang out a little bit from the car, but it doesn't, when you look at the proportion and everything, it doesn't look stupid. So
if you weren't worried about how much weight you put on your roof, you could literally fit 2 rooftops on here.
yeah.
Do you know the roof load rating on a L300?
As a suspension as well, there is no details on these things whatsoever. So it is gutter mount, so I mean, you've got a decent amount of spread and it's spread out evenly, I think. So it should be all right, but yeah, there's no information on them, so we might test it out.
You definitely made good use of it, but I don't think you've gone over the top on the roof. We're a working van, right? So
yeah, exactly right. So it's sort of meant to carry something. So trying to maximise space more so through the roof rack than anything. Of course, to have a fixed solar panel on the top and then surfboards as well. So
does it feel top heavy on tracks?
No, not really. I've never really had any dramas. I've got the box, which is probably the most weight back here.
What's in that?
That's chainsaw, spare parts, tools, bits and pieces that I just don't want in the van or can fit in the van. So just the dirty gear.
What size is the solar panel?
That's a 180 watt red arc solar panel. So yeah, plenty of power on the roof full time.
An awning on that side, is that a 270?
No, so this is a new 180 awning from Destination Full Drive. So
it goes that way and that way?
No, so only will go right around to the back.
Okay.
And then it's got telescopic arms as well. So it looks short here, but it will reach out 2.9 metres out wide. Massive amounts of shade exactly where you want it to, basically, instead of all the way the length and there's nothing to cover on the front, you've got the width on the side. So huge amounts of shade from that one for sure. We'll see later, but the slide out kitchen needs to be protected out that way as well. And then also with the tailgate up, it sort of creates that 270 degrees of shade anyway.
You got to you got to cover there as well.
Exactly right.
4 max tracks on the side.
Black and tan, of course, Sandy Torp. Latest addition is the quick pitch shower tent. Some bloke hooked me up with that one.
Yeah,
so,
I might have put you onto that one.
Yeah.
So folks, now you don't have to see Ryan naked on the side of the road. All thanks to me. Well, actually, thanks to Quick Pitch, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, check.
This is Rubber Ducky. Come in, Mr. L300.
Got you there.
Tell us about your comms, mate.
So we are running the GME XRS 370 Connect in the front end.
And then we've just got a 2.5 GME Sandy Torp antenna on the top of the roof
as well. So yeah, that's comms in the front end.
And the Selfie Go, is that on your roof as well?
Yeah, so we've got the Selfie Go booster. That's basically inside with my 12 volt system, and then the RFI antenna, which is a 6.5
dBi on the roof as well. So that's on there just when I know I need the internet.
Come in 10-4. Is that Smokey on the road at Delika, mate? 10-4 over and out.
Mate, find another channel here.
Roger.
You know that guy?
Nah, he just keeps hanging around though.
Don't know where he's from.
Tell us about your lights.
On lighting, we've got the Steady, however you say it. Everyone says it differently, I think. A 50-inch dual row light bar on the top. It's bloody bright, to be honest. That's why I normally run a cover on it, because I just don't use it unless I'm out bush. Down the bottom, mounted into the bull bar, we've got, I can't even remember the size of that one. I think it's about a 12-inch dual row again, so same from Steady.
Then just outside on the roof rack, we've got a few little work lights that I use to find camp, as you know, in the dark.
Hey, can you tell me if that's a Deleca? Because I'm really thinking it's a Deleca, over.
Mate, this guy, I don't know what he's on about, but it's an L300 for sure.
It's a Deleca!
So one thing I missed out on was the front headlights. They've been replaced from the old candle burners to some LEDs. This is from a company called JDX Lighting, so they're just based in Melbourne. Full RGB daylight, running daylight. You can choose your colour or white. And then of course the actual high beam, low beam, full LEDs I can actually see going down the road without using a light bar now. So definitely a good upgrade on that one.
I'm going to take you through the exterior while Ryan tidies up the inside, and he's going to take us through the interior. So this, I believe, is his utility area. He can air up with his compressor, he's got his tie down straps, a few pegs, battery charger. I believe these also get thrown at people when they refer to his vehicle as a Deleca. I don't know what his problem is with Delecas. We got an axe here as well. He's got a couple of patches here, but let's add one here. There we go. Hey Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay, wasn't expecting that. Can you take us through the inside, mate?
Yeah, come on in. Welcome to my humble abode. The living room, bedroom, whatever you want to call it, everything is here. Idiot. So basically we've got the power setup here, which we'll talk about in a minute. That's got its own little section, I guess. Other than that, we've got a sink built in, tap for filling, a tap for water as well. So that runs through a water filter, which then goes down to a tank that's mounted underneath the car. So I've got 60 litres of fresh water all the time. From there, I've got the 65 litre Bushman's fridge. Definitely enough storage for one person for a week or more. Little extra compartment that was meant for a monitor now is just snacks and bits and pieces in there. A full drawer set up specifically for camera gear. So being a photographer full time, I've got a fair bit of camera gear from there. Then we've got the oven. So we created this little soft luggage rack to mount that in. And then also at the top, I've got all my camera gear charging there as well. Other than that, we've got my clothes storage inside here. So basically these doors just open up to all the clothes storage in there. Definitely brought way too many away from me, so I do need to get rid of some of them, but for now we're all good there. Power wise, we've got enough to run most household appliances, so blender, toasting machine, and also something in this drawer that's a bit of a surprise. We'll show you that in a minute. Alrighty, so when it comes down to bed, I'm 6'4", so I do need the full length of the van. I've just got a board that I made up that sits under the mattress. So this extends out and then just sits on the two lips at the end here on these two panels. These mattresses then just fold out and make it about a king single size. Enough for myself on the road full time. Make sure no one else gets comfortable on the road for too long too. So now at the back here, I've had to maximise storage as much as possible. So we've got another rear drawer at the back here. This is full of just bits and pieces, water filling hose, some fishing gear if I learn to fish on the road. We've got a slack line in there, don't know why, because I'm no good at that either. So we've got the two GME handheld radios as well. A few little watertight bags, so any ocean adventures I can keep my camera gear nice and protected too. So that's sort of that area. In the back here we've got just more storage basically. We've got some long items, so dive fins, table, and then of course some Pelican cases. So in the back here they fit two Pelican cases perfectly. So I've got a water housing in that one of them and then wetsuits in the other. Just on this side we've got this solar blanket, a 10 metre extension lead so I can put it out when I want to sit in the shade, and then just some extra long storage for a few other bits and pieces in there too. Beautiful, and one thing never to forget is the first aid kit. Here we are with the power system. We've got to start with, we've got 240 amp hours of lithium batteries. They're in a box under the van. So we cut a hole in the body, welded up a steel box to save on space. So they're tucked in under the floor. Then we've got the Red Arc Manager 30 system to power all that. So it brings in power from solar, alternator, and also 240 volt if I need to as well to charge those batteries up. Then we've got the 2000 watt inverter from Red Arc as well. That is, of course, to power everything that I need. And one little thing that's inside here induction cooking. With the kitchen, starting off with the induction cooktop, so dual hob. Basically this will limit at 2000 watts in total. So that way I'd never blow out the inverter and I can use both hobs without having to think about it. Other than that, it's just all storage on the inside here. Got the crash pad stash it so I can actually see what's inside. But other than that, super simple, full custom alloy fab here. And that's just on big drawer slides, so plenty of weight on it can go on it and no problem at all. And then just tucked under the bench seat.
Quick question. How much did you pay for the van?
$1,000.
How much is the inverter worth?
2.5, I think.
I'll leave that to the audience.
Gotta say, mate, for a Jalika, she's pretty cool. This thing's fantastic. Solar panel or whatever it is, fantastic.
Where's this bloke keep coming from?
What's normally called under the bonnet or under the hood is in fact called under the seat this time. Ryan will take it away.
Alrighty, so under here there has not been too much done. So we've got the factory 2-litre petrol in here, which is a 4G63. Basically all that's been done is fully reconditioned. Everything else is pretty much factory, so she's not a powerhouse under here, but gets the job done and gets me places slowly. So the only thing I have done is the car builders on basically everywhere and the lift up as well. That's made a huge difference, so I don't have to listen to the whiny engine sound and I can actually hear my exhaust now. So that's pretty much everything under here. So yeah, not too much.
Suspension and tyres. This is going to be interesting because it's a 1984. What is available for these vans?
So after a quick Google search when I first got it, there's nothing out there for an L300. There's plenty for the new ugly things, of course, and a few others for the newer the L300 and Jalika, the imported ones, because they're a Pajero chassis. But this one's actually the same chassis as an L200 Triton from back in the day. So
no way.
Yeah, so after looking into that, I then started looking for L200 suspension kits and found one from a company called Ride Pro. Don't know if they're any good or not really, but it's what I could get, and it was a full kit and went straight in. So
how's it been? How long?
What's it been now? 2 years on the road. So and it's done some decent tracks and stuff here and there. So yeah, no dramas so far.
Did you gain height?
Yeah, so it's about 50 mil, so 2 inches roughly of extra from factory. So nothing too much, but gives that little bit of stance as well.
And is there a certain load rating you've gone for, or is it just?
I actually have no idea with that. It's just what I could get, so I put it in. So yeah. I think it's just stock standard load rating.
Not spoiled for choice, basically.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Take
didn't want to get too custom with that side of things. So
tyres, what size, and what size do they normally come with standard?
Standard, they run a 14-inch rim. I know that much. Tyre size, no idea. Because
14-inch rim.
Yeah, so the guy that we bought this from, he still had the 14s on there, but he had a bit bigger tyres, so I don't know what they actually come factory. So basically these are a 235/75 on a 15. So basically a bit bigger than factory, of course, but yeah, that's what I've got. So
what's that in inches, you know?
Roughly about 28 to 29, I think.
Be on the screen if we're
if I'm completely wrong. Yeah. So on the front end, the guard at the very front, basically, it's got a little bit of a slight angle on it now. We had to grind that off because with these tyres in, it used to come straight down. Around a corner, if the wheel lifted up, it would then just rub. The only dramas I'm having on the insides, on the back, is when it does flex on whatever, like what you do call flex on this thing, it does scrape on the inside just a little bit as well, but not for too long to do any damage to them, so yeah.
Brand of tyres, how long you got out of them? Are you happy with them?
So got the BF Goodrich's KO2s at the moment. I've had them for the 2 years as well, 30,000 on at the moment. yeah, the tyres have been happy. There's no problems, no noise or anything that I can hear anyway from all the other noises that the car makes.
$19.84. Funky coal Medina.
Oh, maybe
What's
not.
with the Medina?
I have absolutely no idea they were on there. I think it might be something to do with about being the higher class of these things when they came out, but I wouldn't say it's high class now. But
No Scooby snacks in here?
nah, nothing too fancy in there. Start with what you're sitting on, so that's something a bit different.
Okay.
Clearly not a factory seat. I've spent a while trying to work out seats and have something a bit more comfortable in here, so I'm not sitting on springs. Tried a few Recaros and stuff, but because basically the plate underneath here is mounted to the lift up, I would have had to grind that away, and then if it didn't fit, I was a bit in strife there. So these are actually Golf seats out of a Volkswagen Golf.
Oh.
So we've basically just cut them and welded them into the old mechanism so they all fold up and everything still. So
Neat.
a lot more comfortable, bit of support sideways as well. So yeah, much better than the old factory ones.
What's it like driving over big bumps because you're sitting directly over the axle?
It's almost probably better in my opinion. You
Yeah?
get used to it. It feels weird to start with, but
Okay.
you can put your tyres pretty well perfectly most times because you know exactly where they are. So yeah, don't mind it now.
All your switches down here, that's all your lights and that.
So we've got lighting.
That's
in
all your
there.
lighting? That's all
Yeah,
of them,
that's all lighting down there. And then of course the GME.
Which we already spoke about.
Yep. Then just USBs, which I don't even use anymore because all my stuff's USB-C. So, and then just a voltage meter for the start battery.
And then we got like a strip of retro happening here.
That's it. Didn't want to cut up the dash too much, so I left just the old radio in there and then chucked up a head unit up the top. Looks a bit dinky kind of, but it fits in quite nice. Chuck that up on top, that way I got doubled in, still got Bluetooth and stuff now, so I can actually listen to stuff on the road.
You got a locker?
Yeah, so rear locker in the back. Currently running an ARB air locker. A few problems with it bringing up oil from the diff.
So the diff, L200.
L200, yeah, so that's the same as all the diffs, so it's an 8-inch diff center. I think it's 28 spline, so that's all the same as Pajeros, Tritons and stuff like that. So it was quite
you just ordered a
easy.
Pajero.
Basically, yeah.
Pajero diff locker.
Yeah, it took a while to start with because you go into ARB and they just didn't know what to do because they couldn't just look it up in the book. So
Yeah.
but other than that, we had one guy that helped that all out and sorted it out for us. So yeah.
There's something else you definitely don't get in a 1980 van.
Yeah, so we got the electric mirrors, little control panel here for the
You've actually got it
clear
hooked
views.
up.
Yeah, so it's all hooked up. They definitely move when you turn the car on.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah, we can see. So clear views was something I wanted to put on the van. Of course, you can't buy them for them. So these are actually 70 series model clear views.
I thought I looked a little bit familiar.
And then basically from there, I got a 3D printed bracket, custom made, to sit them into and then mount to the body of the car. And then we just cut a little bit of the bottom off so they sit in line with the panel perfectly too. So
Nice. What's happening here? There's nothing in the middle.
nothing in the middle at the moment. There used to be an FM AM cassette player radio thing in there.
No way.
It didn't actually work, otherwise if it did work I probably would have kept it, just because it's pretty unique and cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that got thrown out because it didn't work. So in here, basically just got to make up or get made, probably while I'm on the road, a custom center console.
What deodorant are you wearing? Because they clearly like my deodorant better than yours.
Yeah, I think my deodorant might be a little bit better, that's why they're all over you, but that's all right. What that big arm of yours is leaning on as well.
Oh, the one
The
stone.
good old one stone armrest. So once again, from a 70 series, being square body.
It's a
they-
similar thickness door, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. There was not much modifications needed at all to fit them.
That's what I like about these though.
Yeah, the system on them are super tidy. Just the system of taking it on and off and not having to plug something in every time to charge it, and yeah, it's actually rugged.
I paid $9.60 for mine,
Yep.
which is a good price.
Yep.
And I reckon it's worth every bloody cent.
There you go.
This is bloody good. I didn't know you could put your own cars as screensavers.
Yeah,
on
so you
too.
can modify all the screensaver and stuff as well. So yeah, it's a cool little unit. So as sketchy as it feels sometimes, being right over the diff is quite a helpful experience. I can place my tyres sort of wherever I want to, and I know exactly where they are. It's definitely a lot bouncier. everything feels like it's worse than it is. Whoop. But yeah, it's that definitely, once you get used to it, it's definitely a cool experience, that's for sure.
Mate, this guy's lifting wheels left, right and centre.
Alrighty, now we've got the joys of heading downhill in this old girl. Low range isn't very low range, that's probably her biggest downside. It's fine going up hills, but going down hills she does quite like to run away a little bit. So as long as I can get that clutch out without her running away.
That was close.
That was scary, man.
That was close.
How was that, man? How'd you go? Oh, that was exciting, nerve-wracking, and seeing Ronnie's expression after that little last bit was, yeah, made me feel really good in the stomach. So, time for a beer.
You're like, whoa. Not bad for a Deleca.
Rolling.
Right, quiet on set. There you go, Ryan. I'll bear some gifts from Terrain Tamer.
Awesome. That's lovely.
I
Lovely bit of it.
didn't really want to hand that bag over, to be honest.
No,
It's a nice bag.
can't
There
blame
you go,
you.
here's a hat.
Nice hat, beautiful.
Q&A time.
Pop those ones there.
This chair is actually sponsored by Outback Cleanups. It was found somewhere. Thanks, Bo. Come out of the back with a Deleca.
Oh, yeah, looks like it.
First question, mate. Why don't you like Delecas?
It's not a pretty looking car.
I'd love to get one on modified.
Yeah.
Would you watch it if I film one?
I might watch it to have a laugh at, but that's about it. No, definitely nothing against them. It's just, yeah, I just stock them on car.
Yeah.
Grew up
You
with
just
a
don't
few-
like this one being called a Deleca.
Yeah, exactly right. It's not. It's a bit more boxy. It's just anything Deleca, in my opinion, is just way too curvy and
And
stuff.
it is the nice Deleca at that.
Oh, there he is again.
This bloke, tell you what.
Van life. When you pull up to a beach, what's your pickup line?
My pickup line, I don't really have any. It's just the car picks them up. It's quite easy. Yeah, that's why I
Is
just
that right?
did something different.
Yeah. How come an L300 and not something else?
Something else. So basically, when I started looking, I was looking to buy something to travel Australia in full time. I was looking at Troopies. Full drive was a must, of course, growing up with it. So I was looking at vans, and yeah, it just wasn't going to do it. Troopies were a bit expensive for my budget at that time for a stock vehicle that then still needed some work. And plus the Ks on them was probably as much as this had on it in the end, but yeah, it was just a lot of money for a base that needed a lot of work still. So I then came across one of these, wasn't this one specifically, that sold really quickly, and I didn't have the money at the time, and then I spent a year looking for another one. I was in the Northern Territory on a family road trip, and then one popped up back in South Oz, and we basically shot home pretty well quickly to go snap it up. So yeah, that's sort of why. There's no real meaning behind it or anything. It was just a van that was full drive. So
you bought it for $1,000?
Yep.
How much have you spent on it?
We're probably sitting 50 to 60,000 deep on it now, with everything done to it. So
Some people will be shocked about that, but the amount of money people spend on their cars.
yeah, it will go pretty much follow most cars around. So most full drives will get as far as I need it to go. So it's not built to, of course, go lift wheels and do hard shit. It's built to tour and just to get to cool places. So it does the job for that for sure.
What's your next mod?
Next mod.
Or was that what you were bolting on this morning?
Yeah, there was a bolt on this morning. I've had it last couple of weeks. It's been running around, chucking the last few things on. This new awning is beautiful, nice bit of shade. So that's a recent mod too. Other than that, sort of probably do want to get some sort of rock sliders / side steps just to protect the panel. More so on the other side because it's the whole big bit. So if I do hit a rock or something on that, there's got to be a bit of work to fix up. Other than that, nothing really else in mind at the moment. Just need to hit the road and see a few more things.
What's the best trip you've done on it so far?
Best trip? Probably 2 weeks I spent over in the Eyre Peninsula end of last year. So it was a trip with a completely different setup inside, but it just made me realise that I needed to change everything before hitting the road full time. So, but yeah, that was probably the funnest trip. So just did some June full driving over there and just saw the coast, which I love the coast. So yeah.
For other people building an L300 or a van, even a Delica or something else,
Yeah.
what do you recommend they do if they're going to live out of it? What is the essential thing with the interior? What would you say?
It's more so maximising space as much as possible. Maximising space was the biggest thing I was thinking of. It varies on who you're travelling, like who's travelling, what you sort of focus on, and how many people are going to be in the van too. So yeah, it's definitely just working out to what you want and what works for you, because everyone's got to be slightly different. So
How do you keep yourself clean? Because you only just bolted your shower tent on this morning. What was it before? You just do regular stops at showers and stuff?
yeah,
or?
there's plenty of showers along the road. Most beaches have at least a cold shower, so you just go for a swim at the beach. I'm chasing the sun anyway, so it's generally warm. Go for a swim at the beach and then just a rinse off afterwards. Bit of soap, you're pretty good to go. You're better off when you're out of the city, because then you don't have to worry. No one else can smell you, and you can't smell yourself after a couple of days. So
How do you rate induction cooking?
yeah, so yesterday when I did my cook up, it was full sunlight, so I thought I was parked up in a car park, so I thought I might as well chuck the solar blanket out as well. So that definitely helped bring in some solar towards it. But generally, if I'm not doing a big cook up day, solar panel on the roof plus a little bit of driving's plenty. So yeah.
How do you like the flies in WA?
This is the first taste of them, like literally taste of them. But yeah, I haven't been too bad until today. Must be you, Ronnie.
Oh, it must be. I don't know what's going on. What's the best thing about van life so far?
Best thing about van life so far? Oh, the 2 weeks I've spent in the city and a couple of days in a workshop. More so just not having to do anything specifically. You wake up and you sort of do whatever you want, kind of thing. Yeah, just the flexibility of it, sort of thing. Yeah.
Would you ever consider taking this overseas?
Absolutely. I definitely, probably the only country I'm actually interested in seeing majority after Australia is New Zealand. These have actually got a decent, I don't know about this model specifically, but there's a bit of love for the old L300s and Delicas over there, so I would love to get it over there.
Can you say that word again?
Delica. But no, I'd love to get it over there. But we'll of course see how it goes. Seeing Australia, most of that first, and see what plans are and how I go living out of it over here first, and yeah, see what happens.
Ryan, cheers for bringing on the
No worries at all.
L300.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, show everyone something different.
And thanks to Terrain Tamer eStore, the Terrain Tamer eStore, for sponsoring the show. Modified. See you guys next time. What will it be? Delica?
Don't know.
Delica!